the menu, right?
Yes.
Jason, I know you both have watched the menu.
Yeah.
I don't think we reviewed this on the show, but the reason John Leguizamo was there, right, was because he watched his movie.
Yeah.
Yo.
Vampire Slayer Elliot Jones made it his life's mission to take revenge on the bloodsucker who killed his teenage daughter. After years of tracking them, he finally reached their secret and hidden base. However, to get to them, he'll need help from a motley crew of social media superstars who've been invited to party at the compound that's also a lair for ancient vampires. That, my friends, is the synopsis from Google, which was way better than the actual movie, which is called Slayers.
Stop burying the lead.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, but for joining us for the first time, if you don't know, now you know. We do our one sentence review for everything that we do. See, I switched it up that time. Go ahead, Lisa. Give us your one sentence review.
Who paid for this?
Jason, hit us.
This should be the slayer of careers for everyone involved.
I like how you see. He always does a wordplay. It's so cool.
I know he's so clever.
My one sentence review is this movie sucks.
I see what you did there.
See,
even though there's very little of that going on in this movie.
Oh my God.
At all.
So just to be completely honest with our viewers and everything, I did not finish this movie. I turned it off. I was like, this is the most god-awful piece of shit I've seen in a quite long time. And the thing was, I was really excited to see this movie, an indie movie starring Thomas Jane. Oh my God, this is going to be fun. Because he does a lot of these indie movies where he's this cool, badass, vampire hunter. That should be cool. This movie sucks. This movie, I feel like this movie is a movie where they had only so much footage. And they're like, oh shit. We only got an hour's worth of footage, and we need to make an hour and a half worth of movie. Fuck. So let's just splice stuff in. Just use old takes. We just keep splicing stuff in. It's for Gen Zs. They don't care. Make it like a video game. Make it like TikTok. Make it like this. Make it like that. So I think beyond the bad acting and the terrible plotting and the terrible pacing and the terrible editing, and just all around everybody just seemed completely bored and not interested in doing this, with the exception of Thomas Jane, who seems like he's at least trying to have fun. The thing that I guess it got me the most is the fact that I never noticed any continuity errors. I never noticed any of these things that I didn't see the cup in Game of Thrones. I didn't see the car in Braveheart. I don't see errors. There's an obvious shot where this person's supposed to be dead and she blinks twice. And I'm like, y'all couldn't have cut that? Y'all, I saw it. I'm a moron, and I saw it. Y'all couldn't have cut that? It's just, who paid for this? Y'all
right? Someone put money. Someone invested in this movie. Can I just tell you, it makes me so angry that they released this, but they won't give us the Batwoman movie.
Yeah.
What?
This is the only thing.
You will give us this garbage, and you will actually promote it, and but you won't let us see Batwoman. I cannot fathom what is happening. 20 minutes in, and we still don't see any vampires. What? This is like you said, no one even looked like they were having fun. They were just showing up to collect a paycheck. Horrible. I also DNF. So
I can just imagine.
Maybe it became amazing afterwards. Jason, you'll have to tell us.
Jason's like, you gotta stay in there. You gotta, after the first 45 minutes, it gets
DNF.
I just can imagine when they're screening this and the financiers are all in there, the director's in there, all happy and shit with what he did, the actors in there, and they're proud of the movie. I can just imagine the financiers just looking at him the whole entire time, you motherfuckers. I'm gonna need my money back.
So I had to edit it and be like, yep, this is it. This is the shot.
Just imagine this poor person who's I'm going to get in the movie business. I got the money. I can get into it. And he goes, I'm going to go broke. I'm going to die. My kids are going to starve to death.
The director's got to be someone's kid or some shit, or someone's like godson who's just like.
As soon as I finished watching this movie, I looked to see who directed this, and it's some guy, because I thought maybe it was just like some up and comer, like music video director or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy has several made for streaming movies about vampires and stuff, and none of them I heard of. And I'm like, these all look like garbage.
He got to be somebody's godson.
Like, who do you have to sleep with? And like, point them in my direction. Like, come on. If you're just giving away money for people to do stuff, like, I'm here. I'm pretty easy, I guess. Jason, please tell us you like this movie.
Please tell you like this movie. No. We're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna destroy my credibility with this. Like, I'll die on a lot of hills. I'll die on the Halloween Kills hill. That is just a goofy ass horror movie. I'll die on a lot of hills on some bad horror movie stuff. But it's one of my good friends, one of my best friends, Rico, would tell me, I will not watch this type of trash horror movies, because for me, like, horror movies or even just sci-fi movies in this kind of spectrum, the beauty in some of it is the originality that they can have with such low budgets.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was like, yeah, we don't got no money. Well, okay, we can think of a creative way to do this. No. Just press it on this shirt and bust the dye bag. That's it. They're like, but we can no. Just press it on the shirt. And then when you do that, and when right before the blood goes, we're going to do a hard cut to something stupid and do a hard cut back. So, like, it is all over the place. Now, I will tell you some parts I did enjoy, and which is, I feel like it's blasphemy to say on this movie that I enjoyed anything. I liked how they messed with the history with the vampire thing and blah, blah, blah. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Almost to the point that I said to myself watching this, I'm like, if anybody's ever read the book World War Z and not seen the movie, but read the book is just jumps around different spots with the. I would have enjoyed if that was the movie, if it was just showing different slayers handling different historical figures or whatever,
like
whatever.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Right. And even still, if you wanted to make it fun and cheap, just have Thomas Jane play all the different slayers and all the different generations. And like, it would have been still funny and tongue in cheek. So that's the worst part about it, is I'm watching a movie, I'm thinking of all the creative ways that this could have been better. But the one biggest blasphemous thing of all of this is, like, there are no cool kills. At least I can say with Halloween Kills, there's some cool kills.
Some fun and ones, yeah.
Yeah. It's nothing fun about this movie. And I realized my friend asked me to watch it because he's like, oh, I need to give you a movie that you all can all agree to shit on. And I said, I wish you would have told me that before, but I spent an hour and a half, and thank God that you guys didn't finish it, because it'd have been more disappointing by the end, because the end just ends. Like, literally, it's like,
it just stops you.
Oh, yeah, like, it literally, like, yeah, it's like, oh, the chosen blood people get out. And then you're thinking, oh, well, he's going to blow these up before the vampire. No. Like 4 or 5 vampires run about the building. And then it's like this made for TV blowing up an explosion effect. You know, like you see like the comedy gags that something blow up. It's just like this smoke puddle, but everything's the same. It was that at the end. And I was like, wow, they really pulled out all the stops to make sure that this is the worst movie ever seen by the 7 people who've probably watched this. And so I thought maybe I missed the point. So I said, Jason, do some research. So I started going on the internet, pulling up reviews of this.
Sleuthing.
Oh, no. Everybody feels the same way we feel. They're like, oh, this is the worst thing that has ever been done. How in the hell did they green like this? Who saw this and thought this was appropriate? And better yet, here's the bigger mind blower is, how the hell did Hulu say, yeah, this is good enough to put on our streaming service? This makes me lose all respect.
We'll take anything.
Like, yes. That's what
they have zero standards, clearly.
Oh, it's bad. I mean, almost to the point, guys, I would tell you guys to watch it, not us, because you guys shouldn't finish it, but other people. Now that you know it's terrible, find a way to make a drinking game out of it and then have the time of your life.
Misery loves company, so go ahead and watch this movie.
Oh, don't support it, because if they keep putting Dookie out like this, I'm gonna be pissed.
I want you to feel the pain that I felt. It was embarrassing, Lisa.
It's embarrassing that this is the same platform that has Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, how dare you?
What was it? Last year's Prey was amazing.
Also, over the last year, we saw so many great, or at least decent, low-budget vampire movies.
Yes.
From what was it, Darkest Night that we reviewed? And freaking Day Shift. That was fun. And even though they probably didn't have the highest budget, it had Snoop Dogg, so they at least spent $1 million on it. Vampires versus the Bronx. That I don't think we reviewed in the show, but like, you can do a good vampire movie at a small and have it not all the money in the world. It's possible.
Or that TV show on Netflix. I can never think of it. The same people who did Haunting of Hill House.
Midnight Mass. Oh, yeah. God, they had a budget though, because that show is too good not to have a budget. I still cry.
Still, but that still was specifically made for a streaming service.
Yes.
And and they had like 1 or 2 big actors, but they didn't blow their whole budget on the actors. And they still had a good quality vampire show. Spoiler alert, I'm not sorry. It's a vampire show. Okay.
It is a vampire show. They had Matt Saracen and the director.
Yes.
Well, also.
And the director's girlfriend. Yeah.
As me and Jason commented before the show, I like to call these movies, when we see these kind of actors in this, the Alec Guinness, where somebody's agent owed somebody a favor and made them do this movie.
Yes!
If people don't know, Alec Guinness only did Star Wars because his manager owed George Lucas a favor, and George Lucas needed somebody to help sell the movie. So Alec Guinness was the way he helped sell the movie Star Wars to get it done. And Alec Guinness hated Star Wars. He thought it was a terrible movie and a terrible idea, and didn't understand why these wizards have laser swords and whatever. And actually ended up being the thing that is paying for all Alex Guinness' generations of kids and grandkids and great grandkids. So, because they gave him a percentage and not a paycheck. That's why.
Thomas Jane, I understand why he was in this movie. He's probably broke, and he's like, I'll do a job right now, because he's not been in a lot of big budget movies since The Punisher in 2001, and they fired him from that, And Abigail Breslin, I mean, she hasn't been relevant since Miss Little Sun. I guess you would say the first Zombieland. The first Zombieland. The second one, it took them 10 years, and she hadn't been anything since then either. And in this one, I guess she was broke too, but what's her face? Malin Anchorman, she was in Watchmen. A big budget Zack Snyder $500 million movie.
That was how long ago, though? Come on.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, ago. And it was 87 hours long.
Yeah. It wasn't even that. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, it's just, I felt sorry for the people who had to be in this movie, man. I would have rather not worked. I would have been like, I'm going to take this day off.
But
you won't get paid. It's okay.
I couldn't even put this movie on as a background. I tried to just have it on so I could just listen while I was working. And I was like, nope. That's not, I can't even, it's so ridiculous. It's so bad.
It's so bad. There was another continuity error that I noticed. There was a point where Abigail Breslin was in the shower. She was talking to her followers or whatever. And this is just a stupid nitpicky point. But she has white nail polish on, and she walks out of the shower, and it's black nail polish.
Maybe it's color changing. Maybe it's temperature. Maybe it's temperature changing, and that nail polish does exist.
Yeah. Well, in a movie, you would say something like that.
I know it's so bad.
Because obviously it was shot at a different time, probably on her actual cell phone.
Yes.
And they're oh no, we need more footage. Abigail, do something. And she's like, okay, I can pretend like I'm
do something.
Watch this movie become one of those a cult classics. Yeah. And in 20 years, everybody's this is the most amazing movie ever made. And here's why.
There's a college course over it. Have you not seen the seminal 2023 classic Slayers? This is the cultural moment of not just this generation, but of all mankind.
It single-handedly defined.
It solves racism.
It does have bones of being something more. As a horror guy, I don't think it will get to that cult classic range of it, unless one of the people in here become like a mega superstar, and then it will kind of. But it does have bones of it because it does play a lot with the technology age and all of that. So those bare bones sometimes translate better over time when the quote unquote technology is more outdated and you enjoy it more looking back. But outside of that, that's probably the only thing that may give it a chance, because it kind of like slaughters a bunch of influences that people already hate now.
But like, let's talk about their plan, by the way, because I didn't really get to the point where they actually explained it because I turned it off. But they did like, we're going to kill like people who have like millions of followers. Like, you think that's not? And they were like, hey, we're going to these people's houses, and like if they don't come back, like,
oh yeah, because you didn't finish it. Yeah, it's different. Like the brother and sister evidently have some like crazy ancient ass load. Yeah,
they were trying to make them vampires, obviously, at some point.
But no, they actually were trying to put this king ultra old vampire in the young dude's body that was supposed to get. Yeah, again, it's bullshit. It don't matter. It don't really matter. It don't really matter. It doesn't matter.
Of all the people you want to kill, like, don't kill famous people. If you're stuck, especially if you're trying to not be a vampire or not be like discovered as a vampire, right? Like, if I'm trying to be a serial
killer, that's
the
whole premise, is that most of the famous people were all vampires. Like Thomas Jane
Quit making him defend the movie. Quit making him defend the movie, Jason. Stop it.
Thank you, Lisa.
Let's just go ahead,
because I feel bad making like, oh, the movie did have a logic for this, but no. It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
It's dumb. It's dumb. Let's give it a score from 1 to 5. 1 being straight garbage, the worst thing you've ever seen. I think we can probably figure out what we're going to lean at. And 5 being the greatest movie you've ever seen. Just to make sure that I had to piss off Jason, these numbers don't correlate with anything else that we've done.
No, these numbers will correlate. This one
will actually be something that you probably
correlate.
So if I give something else a similar score to this will definitely be the measure that I'm measuring against.
Nope.
No. Lisa's like, no, there's going to be movies that are great, and I'm going to hate. I'm going to give it a 1.
Yep. Exactly.
Lisa, please go ahead and give us your score from 1 to 5.
I will give it a 1 only because of Thomas Jane and because the opening sequence was fun and it tricked me into thinking, okay, this movie's not going to be terrible, and then it lied. But yeah, so it gets a 1.
Jason,
I'm going to give it a 0.3, and that's only because again I did like some of like the history twisting with vampires thing, but that's it.
I'm going to give it, if I ever saw the director on the street, I would probably spit in his face.
Okay. That's not a number.
I feel like that's like a -27. I think that's what
not
that
a number,
is.
But that's okay.
-27.
You watched The Menu, right?
Yes.
Jason, I know you both have watched The Menu.
Yeah.
I don't think we reviewed this on the show, but the reason John Leguizamo was there, right, was because he watched his movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little slow, but I got it.
I get what you're saying.
I'd be like, oh, you were in that
know
movie.
We condone that.
You were in Slayers. So why am I here? Because you were in Slayers.
No, thanks for showing up, guys. Sorry it was a little crazy tonight. And yeah, don't waste your time with Slayers. It's literally just trash. So.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us once again. We appreciate you coming out here. Please be kind to one another and be considerate, and tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can afford it. And if you see Jaron, it's almost St. Patty's Day, which is like his Christmas. So get your Irish friends a gift for St. Patty's Day. They love that shit.
This feels like
I thought you were going somewhere. Like, oh, give him like the knuckles or something.
Yeah, give him like his mother gave him a kiss in the chin with your fist. The old Irish chin kiss. Wow.